What's going on, my crew? This is Rusty and welcome to another vlog series, but this one's special. We're in the great outdoors, and today we're going to be actually looking at and working on the bees. Some people have requested to see the bees and see how everything worked, so I'm going to take you along the ride. And so what I've got here is a smoker, and as you guys can see, this is what we use to basically calm the bees down. Now it's in the morning right now, about I think it's 8 o'clock. So the bees are already pretty calm, but it won't take long for them to get riled up when we start trying to get into their actual hives and things like that. So basically what we do is we put fuel in here, and we light it on fire, and then we keep this moving as much as we can. So now we put the smoke in with the bees, and it calms them down. It makes them hungry, so they go for the honey instead of for us. So we're gonna go forage. I'm gonna see what I can find around here for burning material. Alright, you guys, I hope you guys can hear me. So what we got going on right now is we've got a couple different things that we're gonna burn today. So to start us off, I've got these charcoal sort of things that are supposed to keep fires going. So I'm gonna try and get this thing opened here. Pull out the charcoal bricks. They're just like this. And I'm gonna put probably 2 in the bottom. They say they're Instalight charcoal tables. But anyways, what we got for tinder right now is we got these nice pieces of kind of thin hollow sticks, and I'm going to put a couple of these in here, get us going. And you want to make sure that you are able to close the top. And then we've got normal, these are actually, I'm not sure what tree, but it's that one right there. Oh, you guys can't see it, but I just chopped it down a couple weeks ago. What I use to light is this guy, MAP gas. We're gonna go ahead and get this guy going. You just wanna keep it heated and on there for a little while so you can get a really good fire started. Just because you got smoke doesn't mean anything. Sometimes if you come in here and give it a couple blows, woo! I got sparked. Try and get down there as deep as you can. What we want to see is this. A lot of really good smoke. Then we go ahead and we take another piece of my bee tool. There we go. And that's what you want to see. So this guy right here is my what they call pry tool. This isn't actually a pry tool. This is a little mini crowbar. And but I use it as a pry tool. I find that it goes pretty well. And you'll see us using this quite a bit. This right here is a bee brush. Actually pretty expensive. It's made out of horsehair. And basically what we use it is to gently brush the bees off. And we may not use this today, depending on what I'm doing. This right here, I don't use this much anymore. But usually what we use it for is we use it to grab onto frames and pull them out. But I find that this actually, it's harder to control than my hands. So typically after I pull out the first frame, the rest of it is just my hands, because even though this gives you less, I guess, casualties, that's what the smoker's for. And I actually use my mouth to blow on the bees to get them to scatter, so that I can get a good grip on on the frame, because when I'm holding it like this can slip. And it has slipped on me, and that makes the bees stressed. So I like to use my hands to keep them, to keep a good grip onto the bees. Then we have this right here. I don't use mite strips in my bees because I like my honey to be organic. And when you use mite strips, technically your honey, it can't be organic. So this is a sifter. I use confectioner sugar, and I dust the bees, and we're actually going to do that today, so you guys will get to see what that looks like. It's pretty cool. Alright you guys, so what we got going on right now is we've got 5 hives, and I'm going to talk you through each and every one, what we do. And we're going to kind of take a look at them, and I'm going to do my best to show you guys everything that I can show you with the time that we have. So basically, there's 5 hives, 2 nukes, 3 normal sized hives, and the third one that we're going to look at, I'm going to kind of talk through why it looks like it's so different. Alright you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and smoke in here. Typically what we like to do is we like to let them kind of sit there for a second. We're going to go ahead and open the hive. So I get my pry bar, a couple other tools here. And basically what we're going to do, come in the back here, put my pry tool under, and pull up. There's a reason why we pry. And that reason is that these bees have what's called propolis. And you can see it right here. So all this stuff right here, that's all propolis. Keeps things sticky. Put that down. Make sure our smoker's still going. And these guys are my sticky bees. So they're very sticky. Alrighty. Put this down over here. You guys can see up at the top here, this is what we're looking at. So I'll let you guys see what happens when we smoke them. They don't get hurt unless we put too much smoke. They're just going to move away. That's what we want, because we want to check their insides here. I'm going to go ahead and find the frame that looks the least built up on. Usually one in the edges. Kind of pull back the wax. So here's your frame, and what we've got is this is all honey. You can see the golden color, and these little capped pieces in the middle here, that's all capped honey. It's what we like to see. And then on this side, you can actually see right around here, this is pollen. And it doesn't look like we've got any eggs on this. It's mostly honey. But you see the little bees are in there enjoying their honey. It's a beautiful thing. Alright you guys, so here we have some brood. And if I can get a good grip on it. This part in the middle, let me make sure you guys can see that. So that little part in the middle, the ball, that's a queen cell. And there's nothing in it. And it's been there for, I think, a couple weeks. They haven't destroyed it. But we do have brood. And you guys probably won't be able to see it, but I do have eggs in here as well. If we flip it over on the other side here, got a bee in my glove. Not in it, but on it. Off to the side here, we've actually got some larvae. Some young larvae, if I can find it again. Right in this part. And again, not sure if you guys can see it, but this is what we call a shotgun queen. And basically what she does is she's not a very good layer. She just kind of lays wherever she can. And there's no real rhyme or reason to it. She just lays. And so I think these guys are a little confused, and that's why they've made this queen cell. And there's nothing in it. No eggs. They've made it shiny. But I'm actually going to get rid of it, because there's no need for a queen cell, because the queen is here, and it's too late in the season for them to be getting a queen. So I found some eggs, but that's not enough to make me happy. I want to see if I can get some more. I'm actually going to smoke them again, and I'm going to smoke the hive next to us, because we're almost ready to get into that one. So what we have here, as you guys can see, is another frame. There's a little bit of honey up at the top, brood, and then you see these raised pieces right here. This right here is brood for a drone. And then we've got another queen cell. But let's take a look inside that. I hope you guys can see it. There's a little milky spot in there. And that is a queen. A baby queen. So what's happening is, I think these bees realize this queen's not very good. So they're superseding her, which is interesting. So I'm actually going to let that sit there. Alright, so check this out. We got lots of little baby bees here. Then on this side, some more baby bees, but another queen cell. And what's interesting to me about this is the reason why I don't think that they are trying to swarm, and this isn't an emergency queen cell either. The first one may be, but these ones not really. The interesting thing here is that these bees really have tons of room. They should not be making any sort of queen cells unless they don't like the queen. But we do have a queen here, and it's pretty clear now. So I'm going to go ahead and package this guy up. We're going to do our dusting. Great, so now what I'm going to do, we got this our powdered sugar. Usually put the powdered sugar right over here. We don't want ants getting to them. Go ahead and get a little bit in there. Then we just sift to get all these bees. So what this does with the bees is basically it makes it so that they clean each other. It helps grooming habits. And the bees, here's something fun you can do with bees. Don't worry, they don't mind it. And the bees will actually groom themselves and get the mites off. And the mites also fall off because of the confectioner sugar. So it's a win-win situation. Alright, so this hive that we have here is called a nuke. It's a smaller hive. It only has 5 frames. We've already smoked them. We're going to go ahead and kick it open. And already we've got a lot of bees. So we're going to go ahead and smoke them here. Kind of calm them down. And here we look for eggs, and we find one immediately. We can go ahead and put these guys right back where they need to be on this corner and leave them alone. So this hive right here is another experimental hive that I've got going. Basically what's going on with it is it doesn't have a queen. So we're going to open it up today and see what we find. Last week I put a frame from this hive over here that we'll take a look at next, which is my best hive, into here. So they should have honeybees that they could pull out queen from. So that's what we're looking for specifically here, is to see a queen cell. See what we find. Very heavy. So I'm seeing a lot of drone brood here, which I actually expected because we've got a laying worker. But interestingly enough, I'm seeing a lot of combs that were cut open, chewed open. But I'm not seeing eggs. So again, no eggs. I see baby brood, but it doesn't look good. So these guys, at least to me right now, are still queenless. We're going to go ahead and put this guy back in here. And next week we'll check them again and kind of see where they're at. Right here we have what we call a super. So you guys will see me when I take it off, but a super is smaller than a deep or hive body. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this puppy off. Looks like they haven't gotten to the super yet. I don't expect them to this season, but you're always hopeful. We're going to take the inner top off. This is a lot more sticky, so maybe they have. Let me just take a quick look inside our super here. And it looks like we don't have anything. So, it's to be expected. So we'll just pop this guy off. As you guys can see, this one at the bottom was a lot more rough to take off than the top. So we just take this, we carefully place it on top of our telescope, or I mean on top of our inner cover. Alright, so this one, we got a lot more. A lot more bees, and you can't see it, well you kind of can. There's a deep here, there's a deep here. We're actually only going to look at the top unless we don't find eggs. What we're also looking for is honey. Because we don't want these guys to be what's called honeybound, which means that they have so much honey in their hive that they can't produce eggs. And I have to show you guys this. This right here is a deep full of honey. I wish you could feel that, but look at all that capped honey right at the top. It's beautiful. We got a little bit of brood in there. That means the queen's laying. I don't see any eggs, but I'm pretty confident in this queen. She's a really good queen. We can't harvest anything from this if there's any brood. And I can see a little bit of bits of brood there. That drop, but you guys can see there's some big bees in here, and those are drones. And right about this time of year they'll usually kick the drones out, but I think because of the warm weather they've kind of kept them up. Drones can't sting you, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't keep your distance. We'll go ahead and lightly place this on the floor over here. Take a look at the next one. So take a look there. Look at all that honey. All this stuff that's capped, that is a beautiful thing. That's what we want to see. We also got brood here. So mama is laying well. Go ahead and put it back. What every single beekeeper wants to see. Well, I mean, unless you're talking about a super. We got brood. We got honey. They're packing it in. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So this one looks a little funky and different from the other ones, as you guys might notice. That's because what happened here is we've got a beehive that was kind of thrown together. The reason why it was thrown together is because I didn't have a beehive ready when these guys were ready to go to a bigger spot. So I've actually looked at them a little bit last few days. But we're going to look at them again. So now we have as you guys can see, not a lot of honeybees on the top, and that's because they just got converted over. But what we're looking for here is to see for eggs, but also to see if they've gone through and started building on these 5 frames. And look at this. She loves to lay. She's a very fertile queen. And that right there is what you want to see. Lots and lots. And actually we've got this piece right here. If we peel this away and put it down there, you can see underneath they've been laying. And all that comb. Did a little bit of a teacup here is what we call a queen cell that they were trying to make. But they've eaten away at it because I moved them. But they were ready to go. Overcrowded. Alright you guys, so I hope you enjoyed watching this. You guys will notice that there were some bees probably around the camera. But I'm going to slap this together and I hope you guys enjoyed. I can't do very many of these videos because it's very hard to produce and edit them together. But this is sort of my world. This is what I want to do for a living alongside of doing Let's Plays. So these are my bees. There's probably about, I would say at the very most 100,000, at the very least 75,000 bees right in this area. So we got, if we remember correctly, 2 possibly queenless hive, well, 1 queenless hive and 1 hive that's kind of in limbo. So we'll have to see what happens with those. But everything looks good everywhere else, so the next week I'll check all of them except for the 1 hive that we talked about, because they're growing kind of slow. And it'll be good. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you guys next time. Until then, happy mining and crafting.